everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a full collection of every eyeshadow makeup palette that I own. I did not think I owned as many palettes as I did until I gathered these all together here, and it's a lot. Over the years I have collected an incredibly excessive amount of makeup palettes, and this is not like showing to brag or anything. I'm literally just showing you like my eyeshadow collection, and I'm going to be going through, not necessarily this video, but I'm going to be starting decluttering some of these palettes soon. I have been working on this like 12-month project that I started this January, so I'm already 5 months in and I've been sticking to it, and that is my one makeup palette a month kind of challenge video, if you guys have seen any of those. Basically what that is where I just pick one eyeshadow palette for a set month and I only use those eyeshadows. I can mix in any other like eyeliners or things like that to kind of like create different looks, but the whole point of doing this kind of challenge was to really like use these palettes that I haven't gotten to. I just have so many that they really don't get used very much at all, just because I feel like eyeshadow palettes are the one thing that I am always apt to like really buy a lot of. And I think one reason why I do that is because number one, there's always like new palettes that are coming out, and lately I have just realized, you know, all the palettes that these companies are putting out are really not new or different or unique, and I kind of just found myself like, why am I buying the same palette over and over and over? And so this is just kind of like more for me, to be honest, this video, just kind of like reminding myself of what I already own and trying to like cut down on the things I have. So in the future I will do a declutter, but for now this is just going to be a collection video. And yeah, this I think is going to be a long video. I'm going to try to not talk too long about each product, but just kind of like show literally all the palettes I have. I'm gonna do a guess. I think I have over 100 makeup palettes right now. These are all just like eyeshadow palettes, not including like contouring palettes or face palettes or anything. These are just eye palettes. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started and share with you guys all of my palettes. It's not really gonna have that much of like a super organized kind of feel to this video, so I'm sorry. I'm literally just going to pick up palettes and just show them. So some of the first ones, I have quite a few of these. These are from Coastal Scents, and this is actually the Hot Pots, which are their single eyeshadows. I have so many of them. They're not really organized that well, but I have this whole palette. So these are all individual shadows that I just have thrown in this palette. I tried to organize them the other day, but I realized I don't even have enough palettes for all of my Hot Pots. So I actually have some eyeshadows that are just loose, and I don't have anywhere to put them at the moment, so that's really frustrating. Another one I have, you can actually even see the actual palette like logos are different just because I've had these. This one I think might be the newer one, but anyway, so the next one I have, again, more, this is like some pink colors that I have, a lot of different shadows, and I always buy these when they are like the 99-cent sale. They do those a couple times a year. Otherwise I think they're about $1.99, so some of them are kind of hit or miss, but overall I think that you can see like there is such a wide range of colors that they do offer, and a lot of the times I like to find dupe colors of eyeshadow products that I already own. It's crazy at how many I have. This is kind of like more of my green, olivey yellows, kind of some gold colors. This one is more of like some neutrals. This is actually a different one. It has like a clear top case, which I would buy more of these in the future. If I'm going to buy more, I want them to be the clear top ones because you can obviously see, and they're a lot better. These are all like some grays, some neutrals, some taupe kind of colors. It's not like I bought these all in like one go. This is like literally probably 10 years of eyeshadows that I own. I think those might be all of my Coastal Scents ones, unless I have, oh no, here's another one. Here is another small palette that I have. Again, some more kind of golds and pinks and warm colors. So I have, I think, 3 large palettes of the Coastal Scents, and then I think I have 3 of the small ones. Again, I have some that aren't even in palettes at the moment. I also have some shadows in here. This is another kind of like Z palette that I have. This one actually has like a face product in there, and then there's also these are all eyeshadows that were pigments that I pressed myself. There was like this phase that I had, like, I don't know, probably in like 2009 or something, with like pressing my own eyeshadows. Some of these turned out really good and really pretty. I think a lot of these are some of the old e.l.f. mineral eyeshadows that I pressed, and they turned into like really pretty, like almost cream foil kind of things, because I didn't press them super well. I think I added too much of the mixing medium, but it turned into like a liquid metal, which is actually really cool and really unique. unique. Another Z palette I have, this one is just like kind of a random hodgepodge of colors. I have some NYX shadows here. I have, what are these? I think these are MAC colors. I also have some Makeup Geek ones here. I have, I think, some more like kind of random ones. These up here are Too Faced from an old palette they used to have forever ago. It was like a fairy themed kind of palette. And then I also have a couple more of these Too Faced shadows that were originally in the little cardboard boxes that I had depotted. This is another Z palette I have of a lot of those palettes kind of depotted, but of course they didn't all quite fit, so I had to kind of stick it in another palette. I'm truly so kind of like overwhelmed at literally all the things that I have. This is another one of like, I think these were from Ulta. These are actually ones that I had like glued into another one of these Coastal Scents palettes. These are all like old Ulta shadows that came in like gift sets and stuff, where they would like come in like the flimsiest packaging ever, like literally like plastic sleeves and stuff. So I ended up like what's the word, depotting these and putting them into other palettes, so I have all of those. Some of the shadows are actually really good. They're just very small and things that I just don't use that often. I have another Z palette of some depotted shadows. To be honest, I don't even remember what these shadows are from. I think, oh, actually, oh my god, these are literally sold. I think I know what these are from now. I think e.l.f. used to have these little like booklet kind of palettes and stuff, and I think it would come with like 9 or something in a palette, and I think I depotted all of those. Some of these are good, some of these shadows kind of suck. I don't know why, but depotting was such a big thing I was into kind of like, I don't know, around 2009. And I was like, let's just get rid of all the tiny packages and do them in these large ones, which makes sense. Here's another one that I have like packed full. These I think were some maybe CoverGirl or Maybelline kind of drugstore palette eyeshadows. I literally have not touched these probably since I depotted these, like at least, you know, at least 5 years ago. Similar to the Coastal Scents, this is actually like the same package. It's just got Morphe on here. This one, these are actually part of my like 1 month makeup challenge. So these are gonna be near, I think, the end of the year. So I literally have not even gotten to use these much. This one I think is the Smoky palette. It's really pretty, but super, super dark. I probably have played with this twice, and I bought this probably about 2 years ago. Another Morphe one that I have, this one is like the Shimmer palette. I think it's like Warm Shimmers. I think they like rechanged all their names or whatever. This one I still never fixed the one shadow that like doesn't stay in there. But this is the other palette. Again, I think I've used this like probably just a handful of times. They're really pretty though. The colors are really nice, but yeah, this one's very much an orange toned palette. This palette, to be honest, I don't even know why I still own this. I feel like this one's just kind of, it feels very kid makeup to me. It almost kind of reminded me a lot of the original, was it like the Coastal Scents 88 palette. That was like, I think that was like my very first like eyeshadow palette that had like all the rainbow colors, and I was like, oh my god, this is the only palette I'll ever need for my whole life. The quality of that one wasn't as great, but I had that forever. But this one, like, even the like lid is kind of broken, but I don't know why I own this. I mean, again, some of the colors are okay, but I just feel like I'm kind of too old for this makeup, so I think that this one definitely might be a palette that I declutter right away. Some more palettes that I have. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Shop one. This one came out I think like 2 years ago, or maybe, yeah, I think 2 years ago. Again, I haven't played with these too much. I just literally have so many shadows. This one is one from Shop Hush that I did a video on. This one is actually a dupe of this one. It's called the Deep Eyes from Okalon, so, you know, same palette. But one thing I don't do is buy too many like of the knockoff palettes of palettes I already own. I do have quite a few of the like Shop Hush eyeshadow palettes, but again, those are not really any that I have duplicates of. I think that's the only one I have a duplicate of. This is another one of the Too Faced holiday ones. This one I think came out in 2015. Again, I really kind of got caught up with the packaging of it and how pretty it is. Honestly, so many of these are like exactly the same. Another Shop Hush one. This one is a knockoff of the Kat Von D palette. What was it called? I can't remember. I think it was one of her holiday palettes. But it's really pretty. I actually do like a lot of these shadows, but again, I have so many, I feel like I'm drowning in these eyeshadow palettes. This is another one from Shop Hush. This is the Okalon Pressed Pigment palette. This one was supposed to be like the Alice in Wonderland palette that they did from Urban Decay. To be honest, I'm not really sure why I bought this. I feel like these colors don't even like really appeal to me that much. This was a palette that was actually like gifted to me like for Christmas from a family member. It was the Sephora More Than Meets the Eye. I think this is also one that I have in my 12-month makeup palette, you know, schedule, I guess. But this one was just one I wouldn't have picked out, but I think I asked for a gift card and then they gave me this. But so this is what the palette looks like. Again, it's just kind of one of those like holiday palettes where they try to give you a million colors and they're like super tiny. Again, not something I would have picked out, but it was a gift. So another palette I have. Some more ones from Shop Hush. This is the Okolon 12 color palette. This one was supposed to look like one of the, what was it called? Like the Urban Decay Shadow Box or something. Another one from Okolon. This one is their like knockoff of the Venus 2 palette, I think, or was that the original Venus? I can't remember. Whatever Lime Crime one. So I've got that as well. Next I have, this is an e.l.f. one. This one's also in my like monthly challenge one. To be honest, I don't really even know what the name of this one is. This one's a bit more of like a neutral kind of thing. I feel like I would definitely get a lot of use out of this one, so I'll have to see if I'm gonna keep this one whenever I do that monthly challenge. And another e.l.f. one I have. This one just says classic on here. Again, I don't think any of these are really available anymore, but this one had a lot of kind of like Urban Decay, like original 1 and 2 kind of colors in it. I feel like I probably bought this quite a while ago whenever I was doing a whole bunch of dupe videos. I used to do those a lot. Speaking of, I do have the Urban Decay Naked. This was like the original, just naked, the one that started it all. This was another one of like my very first kind of, I would say this was probably my very first nice like eyeshadow palette, like kind of like a high-end one. So I have that one. This one was my very first one that I did for my monthly challenge for January. So if you're interested in that, you can go back and watch those videos and see what I think about these palettes and whether I'm keeping them or not. And then of course I have the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I just felt like I didn't really care for this as much. I kind of got too swept up in like the collecting kind of side of makeup where I feel like I will probably never get through all of these palettes in my entire life. So that's another reason why I want to do these, to kind of, you know, remind myself of what I have and start thinking about what I can get rid of. And then another one, I have the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. A lot more kind of like pinky kind of rosy tone ones. I feel like this would be pretty with my hair color now, but. And then I also have, this is one I think I got from Amazon because I'd heard a lot of people saying it was like a dupe of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. This is from W7. It's called In the Buff Natural Nudes. Again, this one does have a lot of those like Urban Decay Naked palette kind of vibes to it. This is another one I have. This is the Coastal Scents Revealed palette. This one is, I think this one's also going to be in my monthly challenge one. This one's basically just Urban Decay like Naked 1 and 2. So again, I have that palette. I also had the Naked Revealed 2. I don't know where that one is at this moment, but I know I own that one as well. And that one I did for February, and I think I decluttered that one. I think that one is one I'm definitely getting rid of. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here is the Coastal Scents Revealed 2 palette. Again, this is one that I did for February. This is one I am going to be decluttering. Next, I have some more Shop Hush ones. These are the Okolon Natural ones. These ones are kind of like knocking off the Too Faced, I think the Bon Bon palette, that one, or the chocolate bar palettes as well. I think that has the shape of that one, but the colors of another one. It's just kind of, it's all over the place. And then there was another one. That one I think is like the original chocolate bar palette. Then I have like the Too Faced Bon Bon one. This one, again, you know, same packaging. This one, to be honest, is actually not a true authentic Too Faced palette, which I knew that when I was buying it. I knew it was a knockoff palette. I always kind of saved this because I wanted to like do a video on knockoff makeup and stuff, like not just like cheater palettes that are designed to look like other ones, but like actual knockoff, like they're trying to like pass this off as Too Faced like makeup and stuff. This one is the chocolate bar one. Again, this is not an authentic Too Faced one, but I just kind of thought, you know, it's not really something that I wanted to promote or something that I wanted to like really use on my face. So just full disclosure, those I think are the only two like knockoff, like truly a knockoff product, like they're trying to pass that off as a Too Faced product. I think that's the only two that I own that are like that, but I do not use those, and I don't really think I'm going to be ever using those or promoting those in any videos. This one is from the brand Bad Habit. This is the Aura palette. This one is, I think, supposed to be the Prism palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Some of these palettes I actually really do like a lot. Some more Bad Habit palettes. This is the Bad Habit Aphrodite one. This one is supposed to be the what's it called? I think the Rose Gold palette from Huda Beauty. So, and they're actually like reformulating theirs as well, which I don't know, it's kind of a little sketchy in my opinion, but that's not the topic of this video. Another bad habit, this one's from Athena. This one is the, I think the Desert Dusk one. So again, really pretty colors. These two are also from Shop Hush. These are from the Face Candy. These are supposed to be knocking off the Kylie Holiday Naughty and Nice ones. So these are the Amazon and the Sahara. I can't remember which one's which, but that one I think might have been the Naughty palette, and then this one I think is the Nice palette. This one is from the Balm. It's called the Balm and the Beautiful. This one is one I had forever. I think I got this at TJ Maxx. So these are the shadows here. I think this might be one that I have in my 1 year challenge like lineup. This actually has cheap products as well, but I can't remember quite off the top of my head if this one is in that or not. This one I know it is. This is the BH Cosmetics Bronze Paradise palette. This one I actually really liked whenever I used this one for quite a bit. It also has some face products in there. This one I think is my June palette, so this one's going to be the next one that I'm going to be using, so I'm really actually excited and looking forward to that one. My current palette that I'm using for this month, this is the Dose of Colors Ice Cream palette. This one, this is what it looks like. To be honest, just like a little heads up, I'm probably going to be decluttering this one. This was the month for March. This is the Cargo Emerald City palette. This was one, even though like it looks very simplistic minus like the green colors, but this is a palette I really thoroughly enjoyed using like every day for that month. Another one, this was April. This is the one I just finished using. This was the Kat Von D Monarch palette. Again, another one that had like a few fun pops of color, like warm tones, but you could like really do like neutral or cool or warm. It was a really good one, so that's one that I will be keeping. This is like one of my newer ones. This one actually came in my BoxyCharms, so I didn't like pick this one out, but I actually really like this one. The colors are really fun. This is one that I want to like use. It's got those fun colors there. It borders on more warm tones, which I'm always saying like I'm tired of warm tone palettes, but this one does, it just, I don't know, this could be my only warm tone palette and I feel like I would be happy with it. This one is the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes one. This was kind of like one of the shadows in here like kind of got banged up, but again, I liked that this was like really easy to travel with and things like that, so I have that one. I also have the Summer Eyes one. There was at some point they were just coming out with so many versions of these like little palettes, I kind of got overwhelmed and I didn't want any of them, so I think those are the only two of the like little tin ones that I have left. Of course I did depot a lot of the old cardboard boxed ones, and I showed those with my Z palettes. These I actually don't have any more of these shadows. These are two of the Urban Decay little mini tins that they did a while ago. They each came with one shadow, but I like just stuck them in here. These are the only ones I have of these. They're just too expensive to buy on their own. This is another one I have. This one is one that I feel like I'll never get rid of just because I loved the like theme of this one so much. This is from Lime Crime. This goes way back. If you remember these palettes from Lime Crime, they had probably like, I feel like they had maybe 4 or 5 of these. This one is Palette d'Antoinette, even though the colors don't really, like they look nice together, but as far as eyeshadows and as far as a full palette, this doesn't really do much for me, but I feel like I'll never be able to get rid of this just because I loved the theme of it so much and it's just so pretty. So I have a couple sleek palettes. These are actually really good eyeshadow palettes for the price, especially. This one is the Mattes Volume 2. This one is like really nice if you just like matte shadows. I really like Sleek Cosmetics. I feel like for the price and for the quality of the shadows, it's really good. This one is another really pretty one. This one is called Storm. I love this one so much. This goes so far back. I honestly think this is from like 2008 or something. This is from Kryolan, and this is their UV Day Glow Aqua Color palette. So these actually are UV reactant under black light, and I remember when I first saw X Sparkage talking about these like literally like 10 years ago, I was like, oh my god, I have to get that palette. It's so cool. I've probably used it a handful of times. I always thought it'd be really fun for like Halloween or stuff, but I just can't let this one go, even though I probably honestly wouldn't use it on my face. It's just, I don't know, very sentimental. I have another one of those e.l.f. palettes. This one just says Bright, which I wouldn't really call that a bright palette, but same kind of configuration as this one, but just obviously like more, I don't know, more fall kind of colors, more deep and dark ones. I have some more Too Faced holiday collections. 2 years in a row I bought the full holiday collection, so that's why I have so many of these like Too Faced ones. There's this one. That one came from 2015. This one is actually really pretty as well. I feel like Too Too Faced just releases so many eyeshadow palettes that look the same with the same colors. This one I think was from 2016. This one is called the Merry Macaroons one. This one is really pretty as well. I feel like those are my two favorites out of the holiday collection ones. Then they also did some smaller ones. These ones are from 2015 as well. These all have, I think, 6 eyeshadows and then a face product. So there was the black one. This one's more of like a purple toned one. The pink one had more like pinky kind of silver tones to it with a bronzer. The mint one was a little bit more browns and neutrals. Then the next year they did the same kind of configuration. So these are all different scented ones. So there's the gingerbread one, and those are gonna be obviously more of like the brown kind of tan gold colors. There's the eggnog one, which has like the green and some taupes. Then there's the pink peppermint, which is more of your mauve tones. This one was just like one of the most random palettes I ever bought. This one is from Estee Lauder, I think, and it's called the Estee Edit. This was the like collaboration with Kendall Jenner, which I still don't know why I bought this. I don't know why I bought this. I hate split pan eyeshadows. These are all split pans minus these two. I don't really love the colors that much. I don't think they're that unique. I think that these two are like supposed to be like either UV reactant or like blacklight reactant. I don't know why I own this. I don't know. I don't even like Estee Lauder. I don't like Kendall Jenner either, so I don't know why I bought that, to be honest. This one I have the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. This always makes me think of Connect 4 every time I see it. I like the colors of these, but just again, another palette that I just don't ever find myself reaching for just because all the colors are exactly the same. Another palette I don't know why I have, this is the Sephora Pantone Universe watercolor one. This one I think was from the year 2016. A lot of like light pastel washes of colors. I don't think these shadows are that great. I mean, some of them are kind of cool, unique colors to have. So, I mean, at least there's that. At least these are like unique colors that I don't have a million of. But again, why? I wish I could go back and have so much money back. This is a palette I really love as well. This one is from Urban Decay, the Oz like collection that they did. I wish I would have bought the Theodora one now that I have it. It's very rare that I'm like, oh, I wish I had that palette, because now I'm like, I wish I could have all my money back from some of these palettes. This one did have a couple split pan palettes, which I don't like, but the colors are so pretty and I love the Wizard of Oz so much. So this was another one that was more of like a kind of like a collector's kind of thing is like why I bought it. Here's the Urban Decay like bamboo palette. This one is so like old school. I hate the packaging of it because this thing has to like swoop all the way around, and the eyeshadows are actually really tiny, and all the shimmer or glitter ones have super gritty glitter, but for some reason I just can't like let this go. It's like kind of nostalgic at this point. This one is another one I got so caught up in like the theme of it and I didn't really care for the actual like shadows. This was also like super overpriced. I feel like I paid like, I don't know, $30 or $40 for this. This one was like from Benefit. It's called World Famous Neutrals. It's kind of like fortune teller themed. This one actually came with 4 shadows, really expensive 4 shadows, and then it came with 2 little color pots, which I actually do kind of like the color pots, but yeah, so this, I kind of got caught up in just the idea of it more than the shadows. So I'm trying to like actually separate the theme of palettes and really look at the actual colors, because I really do buy a lot of things for the packaging. Similarly for the packaging, these are some Korean palettes that I have. These are not bad mattes. I always talk about I like the mattes of these, but the shimmers are just not my favorite, and I think it's just, you know, with Korean makeup, a lot of their makeup styles are just different. So these are gonna give you like a light sheer wash of color for shimmer. The mattes I like, but as far as like the actual shimmers, I'm not a huge fan of these. Here's another sleek palette I have. Again, I really like the sleek. This one is the Sunset palette. This one is actually really pretty, and again, if you want those like really fun pops of colors with more mauve tones, the value of these are so worth it. And finally, just the last couple ones I have. This one, I feel like I definitely got this one on sale. This is the Urban Decay roller derby. I think it's roller derby. These 3 colors are fine, but then there's this like hot pink, and I was like, what was I thinking? But I definitely know I got this one on sale, but I bet like nobody even remembers this was ever a palette though. I have this little e.l.f. custom compact of just some 4 little mini shadows. Again, I think those are all like $1 a piece. And then the final 2 that I have, these are both from Sephora. This one is the Sephora Wonderful Dreams palette. This one is one that came out like during like a holiday time. Really pretty palette, like super neutral colors. Like these are all colors I would totally wear. The packaging's a little interesting though, but overall it's, you know, on the more compact size for a palette. And then the final one I have, this one, I don't even know what the name of this one is. It just looks like this. It's like a little cute pink envelope looking one. And again, just some really neutral colors. Again, I don't know why I bought this. So I'm actually kind of thoroughly embarrassed now that I'm looking through all these. I'm gonna count all of my palettes that I have right here, and I'm going to see how many I have. I think I said that at the beginning of this video, I was guessing about 100. I'm gonna count these and come back. Okay, so I just counted all of these palettes that I have, and to be honest, I think if I counted correctly, I counted 78 palettes. Now, to be fair, these two were technically not really like palettes, but I did count them in there. So I did just count like literally the containers of palettes that I have, and 78 is the number that I got. To be honest, I'm actually really surprised. I thought I was definitely gonna crack 100, which is like insane, believe me. Like 78 palettes is like way too many, but I definitely am trying to go through like using these palettes and like really seeing which ones I like, what's worth keeping. So I'm going to be trying my best. Like I said, I am working on this 1 year kind of makeup like challenge, and again, I'm only really getting through 12 palettes a year, like to really test and kind of declutter, but I'd much rather do it like the slower way and like just really make sure I'm keeping things in my collection that I really truly love, or things that bring me happiness, because I know there's so many of these palettes I have here that really don't bring me happiness, and I'm like, why do I own these? You know, so I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot of palettes that I will be decluttering soon, and I'm thinking about maybe next year, like if I get through this entire year, I want to kind of extend my like 1 year monthly makeup palette challenge, but I think I want to make some changes to it. I might either do maybe like 2 palettes a month and kind of break the month up, so like I'd use a palette for 2 weeks. That way I could get through a lot more palettes and like really testing and seeing if I like them, because I feel like even after like a good 2 solid weeks of like using that palette every single day, I feel like I kind of know whether I like it or how many looks I can get from it, or just like, you know, whether it really brings me happiness. So I could either like do that and do 2 palettes a month, and then I would get through about 24 palettes a year, just, you know, like using and deciding whether it's worth keeping to me. I was thinking maybe I could break it up and just do like a new palette every week. That would be the most like product rotation, and then I could kind of get through those sooner and figure out what's worth keeping. I really want to like give these products like a good use, and of course anything that I don't you know, want to keep will obviously be going to like my friends and my family and passing it on to them, and you know, just trying to find homes for all of this makeup for people that will actually love it and like get good use out of it. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.